Okay, let's just talk for a few minutes and see.
I'm not really good at asking for help. I'm just not that type of guy, you know? Which I'm sort of seems strange with me sitting here with a gun and calling you.
It's not easy to ask for help. You did the right thing by calling.
Maybe. Kind of makes me feel like a loser, though, you know? Kind of makes me feel like I can't figure things out for myself without calling a total stranger.
That doesn't make you a loser. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger.
Maybe.
Where's the gun now?
Right here on my desk. Some regular desk stuff, you know, coffee mug, journal, papers, pencils, highlighters. Only the yellow ones. I hate the other colors. And a bottle of whiskey.
So you've been drinking?
Somewhat.
And the gun is just there, you're not holding it or anything?
I was earlier, but now I don't think the gun's the right idea.
That's a good start.
Yeah. Why do you think they make them in the other colors?
What?
The highlighters. And why would they make them in any other color besides yellow? It's just stupid. You know, you can never make out the highlighters well. Especially the purple ones. You might as well just cross out where you got to highlight if you're going to use one of the purple ones.
I think they probably started out as just yellow.
Everything starts out as just something. And then one day it's just not enough. It always has to be more, it has to be different, it has to change.
Sometimes change is good.
Yeah. Sometimes it just causes chaos. Like, remember a few weeks ago when there was all this commotion about people's zodiac signs changing?
Oh yeah, people took that really seriously.
Well, it was pretty serious. At least to me it was. I mean, I spent my whole life believing that I was a crab. Cancer is my sign. And all of a sudden there was this big change of configuration in the constellations or whatever, and then boom, all of a sudden, without warning, I'm a Gemini.
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, that's trouble.
Oh, really? What kind of trouble?
Gemini, twins, 2 personalities.
Everyone has different personalities. You don't have to be a Gemini for that.
How do you mean?
Different phases. Work, social, alone. You get the idea.
Yeah, I suppose. Guess it's just always related to being a crab. I can hide in my shell when I'm afraid.
Are you scared now?
No. Yes. Maybe. Definitely maybe. Like halfway in my shell, maybe.
What's your name?
What's yours?
My name is Lucy.
Oh. Do you carry your eyes around in a tray?
I'm sorry.
St. Lucy? All those pictures about where their eyes gouged out and they're holding them in a tray?
Oh, so you're Catholic.
Yeah. Which kind of messes with the whole suicide thing, you know? Hell and all. They're pretty scary. Like St. Lucy's gouged out eyes.
You don't need to be scared of me. My eyes are exactly where they're supposed to be. No tray necessary.
What color are your eyes?
I'm not sure that's relevant.
Relevant, no, but I'd like to get a picture of who I'm talking to.
You do realize you're called the suicide helpline, right?
Are Tuesdays a busy day for suicide help?
Well, there's not really a pattern in terms of specific days.
Right, yeah, I see. Probably more like specific times a year, right? Like I'm guessing there's probably not a lot of suicide in the summertime.
Look, sir.
Oh, don't call me sir. Makes me feel like my father.
Well, you haven't told me your name.
James. Please, not Jimmy or Jim, just James.
Well, hello, Just James.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, St. Lucy.
Have you had lots of suicide before?
Yeah, on and off for about 2 years.
Did you see anyone about them?
Yeah, I did, but it just didn't seem to work out, you know? I mean, the sex was great and everything, but the thoughts just wouldn't go away.
I meant to see as in professionally.
She was a therapist.
That seems really unprofessional.
Well, started out professional, but she wanted to sleep with me, so I figured, what better way to fight depression than with sex, right?
She just told you she wanted to sleep with you at one of your therapy sessions.
She didn't have to. I just knew. I mean, you always kind of know. People rarely come out and say, you know, I'd like to have sex with you. They just start acting a certain way around you, and you just kind of know. At least I always kind of know. It's like this screwed up sixth sense that I have.
I suppose that could be true, that whole sixth sense thing. I get that a lot. Not about sex, though. So, you started dating your therapist.
Dating? Nah, she was married. We were just, fucking. I'm sorry, was that offensive? Well, not the fact that I was fucking her, well, maybe that was offensive too, but my bluntness in describing it.
Yeah, it's okay. So what happened with,
Nancy. Nancy. That was her name. Oh yeah, it was good for a while. I mean, the sex did help with the depression. I think it's just the chemicals in your brain or whatever. They kind of switch gears when there's sex involved. Maybe I was just distracted. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it was good for a while, but then it just started getting weird. Because I kept going to the sessions, but the sessions were just for sex. There in her office. So it was kind of like I was paying for sex. Well, I guess I was paying for sex now that I think about it. But there were also times that I thought about going to a hotel. But then I figured that's even more ridiculous because I'd be paying for therapy plus a hotel room. So I just worked out better than we fucked right there in her office.
did she know you had thoughts of suicide?
Yeah, she did. I'm not sure she believed me though. Do you believe me?
Should I not believe you?
Is it hard for you to tell if people are for real when they call here?
Sometimes.
Sometimes I just think suicide is a cliche, Especially for a 40-year-old man alone.
Wait, 40?
Nope, 42. I thought maybe killing myself at 42 might seem less cliche.
Suicide isn't cliche at all.
Let's agree to disagree. I mean, after all, admitting suicide is a cliche renders your job kind of pointless.
Fine, but how is 42 really much different than 40?
42 is a very important number, being as it's the ultimate answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything,
I love the Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy.
Wow. I never thought you'd get that. No one ever does.
Might be surprising on occasion.
What do you look like?
That's not an appropriate question.
I like to be very inappropriate at times.
Look, sir, if you really don't need help, I can...
Just don't hang up.
We just have to be careful of people who don't need help because there's a lot of people out there that do.
Do people usually flirt with you when they call here?
Not usually, but sometimes.
Disappointing. I was hoping I'd be the first.
I didn't say you were.
That's encouraging.
I wasn't trying to encourage you. I was just...
Don't hang up.
I won't hang up.
I'm already a cliche, Irish, drunk, every night on Maker's Mark, writer.
I have a soft spot for Maker's Mark. And Irish writers. Do you drink it straight?
There's no other way.
What do you write?
Stories. Dark, twisted ones.
I like dark and twisted.
I guess you'd have to in your line of work.
There's that whole cliche thing happening again.
This is what I've been trying to tell you. We're like two cliches that pass in the night.
I was just teasing.
Flirting?
I don't flirt on the job.
Huh? Pretend you're not on the job. Pretend we just met or something.
Well, we kind of did just meet.
You haven't asked me why yet.
I was hoping we'd get to that in time. I just wanted to hear you. I mean, let you talk some more. So
My sweet St. Lucy, I think you just admitted you like the sound of my voice.
I think I was mistaken.
Agree to disagree.
Tell me why.
Why? Why I called? Why I want to blow my brains out? Why I drink too much? Why I write dark, twisted stories?
All of the above.
It's too cliche.
Just tell me.
There was this girl.
There always is.
Hey, is sarcasm supposed to be helping me?
I'm sorry. I just was so comfortable talking to you. Go on then. The girl.
Helen. I call her Helen of Troy.
Oh, you're real big on the nicknames.
That's part of my charm, sweet St. Lucy.
You're getting distracted.
You have that effect on me.
Continue, please.
Right. So, Helen. Well, I was sitting there in Starbucks one day, writing. I know, cliche, but it's true. I was sitting there having my coffee, drinking one of my dark, writing one of my dark, twisted stories, and I took out my flask.
You carried a flask around.
Well, yeah. How else can I live up to this drunk Irish writer cliché?
Go on.
So Helen walks over with her venti coffee cup. And, incidentally, I hate that it's venti. Why can't it just be large?
Like the yellow highlighters.
Exactly. So she asks me if she can have a shot from my flask. Now, usually I do a pretty good job of hiding this thing, so I kind of got caught off guard. She didn't even say hi. Just, can I have a shot? And she holds out her cup. So, of course, I obliged. I never can resist a pretty redhead.
Do you like redheads?
Do you have red hair?
Back to the story, please.
So, I pour her a shot, and I ask her if she wants to sit down. She does. She tells me the name is Helen, and then I make what I thought was a very charming comment about how Helen is such a pretty name, and I immediately nicknamed her Helen of Troy. She had the most beautiful blue eyes I'd ever seen. They were like tiny little oceans lighting up her face.
Wow. I never heard eyes described like that before.
Yeah, it's the writer in me. So, we started talking. And within minutes, I felt like we knew each other our whole lives. We were the exact same age. Not exact, I'm a month older. We were both Catholic. We both had a shared love of whiskey. We were both writers. But, she wasn't Irish, though. Although you never know it by looking at her. She was Hungarian. A gypsy, I used to call her. She once told me she had a gypsy heart.
Oh, like in that song, don't turn around your gypsy heart.
Well, now you've impressed me twice, Sweet St. Lucy. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses?
Best song on Octoon Baby.
Oh, Sweet St. Lucy, a girl after my own heart.
Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised at times. Go on.
Well, Helen and I spent that whole first day together. We left Starbucks. We went up to this Irish pub on 2nd Avenue, like in the 50s. I can never exactly remember where that is. 51st, 52nd, Jameson's?
Oh, next to Murphy's. I always get those two confused.
Everybody does. So we had lots of whiskey, and some greasy pub food, and we just couldn't stop talking. All the while, beautiful blue eyes just piercing right through me. Finally, after about 12 hours, what seemed like 12 minutes, I asked her to come back to my place. But we didn't have sex. We just kept talking. We never got tired. And then finally, she told me the truth.
She was married?
Oh, no. I wish it had been that easy. She was dying.
Oh my God.
Cancer. She'd just been diagnosed. Pancreatic, one of the quickest ones. She spent the whole morning wandering around the city before she ran into me, wondering what to do, or who she should tell, and all these crazy things. And she told me that spending the day with me made her forget it. She didn't think about the cancer the whole time she was with me. She said I was like her angel, like I saved her or something. We were both 33, our Jesus year.
Jesus year? I've never heard it called that.
Don't you remember yours?
Oh, I'm in it now.
It's very interesting, Sweet St. Lucy.
What happened after that? After she told you?
Craziest thing. She asked me if we could pretend like we didn't know. She asked me if we could just spend the next few months or so together, just like we did that day. Like, just pretending like everything was okay. Like we're gonna live forever or something. I agreed, without question. I couldn't help it. I couldn't say no to her. And then we had sex. For that little while, I forgot she was dying. We were both so alive in that moment, like we were defying death or something. I fell in love with her that day. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it isn't. It was like nothing I had ever felt before. And it wasn't this crazy, I can't stop thinking about you, I want to be with you every minute kind of love. I mean, I guess in a way it was because I couldn't stop thinking about her. But I don't know, it was different somehow. I had this strange kind of peace in my heart, like everything I ever worried about in my life, was gone. Like I was going to love her, no matter what. If she killed 1,000 people, if she had purple skin, oh God, I don't know, I'm probably not explaining this right.
No, you are.
So, we spent the next 10 weeks together. Her parents had died a few years back, and she was an only child, and she wasn't close to any of her extended family, and she didn't want to tell anybody that she was sick. So, we didn't. She didn't want any radiation or any chemo. She just wanted to live with me. At the end, it got really bad. I rarely left the hospital except maybe to go home and take a shower or change my clothes. I watched her disappear slowly from me. And I cried when I wasn't around her. I couldn't let her see me cry.
I think
She didn't deserve it.
I think she would have understood.
And maybe I was there the night that she died. Have you ever seen somebody die before?
No.
You're lucky. I don't think I could ever find the words to explain what it's like to watch somebody's life end.
You don't have to.
In 1 minute, she's there, alive, breathing, just like me. And the next minute, it's just silence. And I knew that she was gone, yet somehow I just kept thinking that maybe just for this one moment in time, it was just all temporary, you know? It's the permanence of it that's so frightening and so sad. Oh. When Helen died, I didn't know what to do with myself. I still had that feeling of peace in my heart. I wandered around a lot. I drank a lot. I met a lot of women. I went to therapy. I slept with my therapist. Oh, wait, you knew that already? I spent days, weeks even, in this protective shell, shielding myself from the outside world, as it were. And all the while, I kept trying to comfort myself with these thoughts of, oh, she's in a better place, but it just seems so...
Cliche.
Exactly. You know, the strangest part of it is, I never even thought about killing myself until years later.
7 to be exact.
See? That's why I like you, sweet Saint Lucy.
I like you too, Just James. When did you know suicide was an option for you?
Well, I guess I just thought maybe that's how I could be with her again. I wanted to feel again what I felt with her. You know, I told myself that what I had with Helen was just some fleeting thing, you know. That I got caught up in some stupid moment. So for years, I tried to find somebody else to prove to myself that I could feel that way again. And I couldn't. So I thought maybe dying would bring that feeling back. Because then I'd be with Helen again. Today, this day, it's always the worst. It's the anniversary of the day we first met. You know, I always used to think that the anniversary of when she died would be the hardest, but it isn't. Some days I don't want to live at all. I don't want to live in a world where Helen isn't. And some days I think of Helen. I think maybe she'd want me to keep on living.
I can't pretend to know what she would have wanted, but I think you're probably right.
You tamed my gypsy heart, she said.
What you did for Helen was one of the most noble, unselfish things one person could do for another. And I get the feeling of not wanting to live and be with her, but look inside your own heart, James. Maybe you don't have to be scared forever. Maybe you don't have to hide in that shell all the time. Maybe you could be that angel again for someone.
Maybe for you.
Maybe. But I think we should probably start with just coffee first. Not Starbucks though. I want to order a large and not a venti.
There's a diner on 2nd and 56th, the Plaza Diner. You know it?
I don't, but I can find it. I get off at midnight.
It's open 24 hours.
I'll be the redhead with a large cup of coffee.
I'll be the Irish rider with the flask.
And the yellow